Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to tackle a project that's reminiscent of a previous job that I did. I fabricated some auxiliary mounting brackets to my Harley 48 that allowed me to get a different perspective from my action cameras. And I had some material left over. I wanted to do the same thing for my Moto Morini Calibro 700. And so one action camera facing the front of the bike, like you see here, facing the front wheel. And then I would have another action camera mounted on the frame of the bike facing the back, looking at the rear wheel, specifically the sprocket and the drive belt. And thought those were neat perspectives on my Harley and want to be able to do the same thing on that new bike. I had mounting brackets left over from the ones that I purchased at Laos, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can see where to get those. And I was able to use the holes that came on the brackets to mount to the bike. So the bolts that mounted to the bike, I actually just went straight through those holes. And then of course, to mount the action camera bases, I needed to drill the holes out a little bit bigger to accommodate the 1/4-20 bolts. To mount the front-facing camera, I would take this decorative aluminum plate off of the bike and just mount the action camera base directly into one of those bolt holes there. And I say directly, I would mount the angle bracket directly to that bolt hole. I set aside the aluminum plate or that aluminum cover, and so I can reinstall it on the bike at any time. And again, the 1/4-20 bolts that mount or screw into the action camera base won't go through these pre-drilled holes in the brackets. So it's just simply had to drill out one hole in each bracket. Once the brackets were prepared, I was able to bolt them directly to the bike, again using bolts from the bike, and those bolts would screw through those pre-existing holes in the brackets. So it was a pretty straightforward and simple assembly. I didn't have to really fabricate anything. I was able to just basically drill 2 holes, figure out where I wanted to mount them on the bike, and then do the install. The only other cutting or manipulating that I had to do of any material was to cut the bolts shorter. These are 1/4-20 bolts that would screw through the angle bracket into the action camera base. And in order for the base to actually seat by friction down onto that bolt, the bolts had to be shorter. And so I just trimmed them with my Dremel tool and then filed off the rough edges and screwed them in. That's going to wrap it up for me today. I appreciate you joining me. If you have a motorcycle and you take video footage when you're riding and you want a different perspective, I hope this has been helpful to show you what's possible and how simple it is to mount an action camera to your bike, both forward facing and rear facing. Well, again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and definitely give me a like if so. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.